Hey, what's going on, y'all? I hope that you're having a wonderful day. My name is Jonathan Yenchen. Thank you for tuning back in to yet another video. What do you think about the new backdrop here, huh? This is courtesy of my girlfriend's very stylish mother. This is their living room I'm shooting in. This is the first time I'm ever shooting in here, so if you're wondering where I am, I'm just throwing that out there so you are aware. Now, on Sundays, I usually post my truck camper renovation series, and I was totally planning on doing so today, but unfortunately, I hit a few snags in the road this week. I was working on installing the plumbing in the kitchen. So long story short, I didn't get it done, and that's why I don't want to post an incomplete video. So instead, I thought that I would take the opportunity to talk about a subject that I've been thinking more and more about lately. And I actually first heard the topic being brought up in a podcast that one of my favorite creators hosts. His name is Kraig Adams. A lot of you may or may not already be familiar with him. Not only is he an amazing creator on YouTube, but he also does live streaming on Clubhouse and Twitch and some of the newer age hangout and live stream platforms. Not only does he make absolutely amazing videos, but he's also just like a enormous pool of knowledge for small YouTube creators such as myself and people who just create anything in general. I feel like his ideas and the way he lives his life is very aligned with kind of like the vision that I hope for my own life. So in that sense, like a lot of what he says just resonates with me. And one of the topics in the podcast was actually financial transparency. And that's what we're actually going to be talking about today. So this notion of financial transparency really resonated with me when I listened to the podcast, mainly because we have been taught pretty much as a society for all of our lives that it is a very taboo and hands-off subject to talk about your finances or talk about somebody else's finances. Like we're just taught that we shouldn't do it. And I've always just kind of accepted this as like, that's just, you know, one of those things that it is what it is. When I listened to the podcast, it made me start to think, why is that a thing? Like, why are we so kind of worried about other people knowing about how much money we make, how we make our money, how we spend our money, and all of that kind of stuff. Craig's perspective is basically that he feels like a lot more benefit can be gained from being transparent with your finances rather than trying to hide them and be secretive about them, because you never know what kind of benefit somebody is gonna get about you sharing how you make your money, how much money you make. Like whatever benefit could potentially come from you sharing that information is just completely eradicated and gone if you don't share it in the first place. So today I'll be addressing some of those reoccurring questions that I get in the comment section or in my inbox on Instagram. And those are, how do I make money? What do I do for work? Etc., etc. I'll also be talking about how much money I earn as a small-time YouTube creator with only 36,000 subscribers. So grab a coffee, grab a beer, grab something nice to sip on, and enjoy the video. All right, so right now, I currently am focusing 100% of my time and resources into YouTube. And that being said, that is my only source of income. Thinking about getting like a side gig at a restaurant, or maybe looking for some more freelancing gigs or something like that to supplement my income. But honestly, I ultimately just came to the decision that I would rather have the complete and total freedom to go where I want and do what I want and do whatever it takes to make more videos for you guys and for my YouTube channel. So obviously my income is very low. I only have 36,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is, it's great. I've grown so much within the last 6 months, but at the same time, it's definitely not at a point where most people would consider like, oh, this is my full-time career now. This is my income source. I would say that a lot of people in my position would consider this more as like a side thing that they do in hopes that one day it might blow up into something bigger. But I have that completely switched. Right now, I have a very low overhead, okay? I'm living with my girlfriend and her parents, so I'm only paying a very low amount for rent. I'll be completely transparent with you. I'm paying $250 for rent that covers like me staying here and my contribution to bills around the house. And that is very, very low. You know, you really just don't find anywhere cheaper to live other than with your own parents. And I'm very fortunate and I'm very blessed. And you know, at the same time, there is the side of me that feels a little bit weird living here. It does feel like, you know, I'm a 24, almost 25-year-old man. I should be able to afford my own place and I shouldn't be living with my girlfriend's parents, but whatever. You know, I realize that it's completely an egotistical thing to think that way, and this is just ultimately the sacrifice that I'm willing to make, to take that hit on my ego in order to propel me forward to hopefully sooner rather than later achieve the dreams and the goals that I hope to achieve. And so since my bills are so low, I'm able to rely solely on YouTube for income and focus all of my attention on that. So that way, you know, the more work I put in, hopefully the sooner I could be out there making an actual full substantial income from YouTube. If I had my own apartment, I would without a doubt have to get another job to supplement my income because I'm not making enough right now to afford an apartment, depending on where I live. Maybe somewhere really, really cheap, but definitely not like a big city, that's for sure. I also have the camper, which I'm gonna be moving into very soon, hopefully. So once I move into the camper, I also still will not have a lot of rent or bills to pay. So that means that I can continue to rely on YouTube for income. That being said, I do hope that the channel starts to gain some traction here pretty soon so I can start saving more money and having a larger source of income. But either way, I feel really blessed to be able to say that this is my job, even though I have I'm so early on into it, and I feel really fortunate to be able to have the freedom to say that this is still, you know, what I do, this is my job. Okay, so here is the bread and butter of today's video. This is what I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for. Drum roll, please. How much money do I make as a small creator on YouTube with only 36,000 subscribers? As of today, March 28th, 2021, I have 36,000 subscribers. So how much income am I actually making? And the truth is, it varies. I know that's not what you want to hear, but don't worry, we'll get into an actual like statistical numerical numbers very shortly here, but let me just say this. How much money I make is greatly dependent on how well my channel is doing on any given month. So essentially, the amount of views that I get per month translates directly into my income. So obviously, if I have a month where one video just takes off and it does great, it's gonna be a really good month for me. If I have a few videos that just don't do that well, or if I miss posting a video or whatever, then my income suffers greatly for that. So it really fluctuates, and that's why it's kind of tricky to rely solely on YouTube for your only source of income, because you just never know, you know, even if you have a ton of subscribers, you could hit like a dry spell and just like your videos aren't getting many views. So your YouTube generated income greatly fluctuates, as you'll see in my income. So I actually have some numbers pulled up here directly on the YouTube Studio screen. So I'm gonna share that with you and we'll go over that real quickly. Okay, cool, we're here. All right, so as you can see, we're right now on my channel analytics. Hopefully there's nothing here that is important, sensitive information that I have to hide from you guys. But transparency, that's what we're going for, right? Transparency, so I got nothing to hide. Okay, so right up here, you see that so far this year, I have made $5,672.65. Yeah, that's, like I said, it's pretty low, but seeing it here, it's even that much more disheartening. It's okay, we're on the rise, we're on the rise. It'll grow, it'll grow. Here, this is, I think this is the more important section right here. So this is the last 6 months. We've got October, I only made $167. This was when, before I got any traction on YouTube, I was still like microscopic creator. I was like little dot on the map. This is my hobby, like, oh, he makes YouTube videos, that's so cute. Because I wasn't getting any views. I thought that like 700 views was a great video. So November, that's when things started to go uphill. As you see here, in November, I made $2,563.28. That's pretty good. Like, I know some of you guys, to some of you that's like pennies, but to me that's a solid amount, especially for making videos. This is at the point where I was like, wow, I'm doing what I love and I'm making a good amount. This is more than I was making when I was working part-time at a grocery store. This is more than I was making working full-time at a grocery store. So things were starting to look up for sure. In December, $3,563. January, $1,292, so that's our first slow month. February, $2,995, another solid month. And then March, $1,384 so far. So as you see, it greatly fluctuates. So it really just depends, like I said, on how well your videos are doing for that month. Okay, I don't think there's really anything else that's interesting for you guys to look at here, other than maybe the top earning videos. This gives you a breakdown on how much money you're making per video. If you see here, my first night living in my car video, which is doing great, and that was the video that made me. That video literally like boosted me up, and it got me to where I am today. So I was super happy and fortunate that I had one video that just blew up. As you see, that one made me $1,578, which is crazy for a video about me moving into my car. It's kind of ironic, right? I moved into my car because I was struggling financially, and then the video about me doing so just boosted me up that much and helped me out. Pretty cool. But anywho, yeah, that's an anomaly though. As you see, that the other ones, my next highest earning video is half of that at $700. So yeah, that's about it for the actual analytics. Let me just pull my notes back up here. All right, so as you saw, my income right now is very, very low. I wasn't lying. It's like almost pathetically low. And I'm sorry if you make less and I'm saying that my income is pathetically low. Like, I mean no offense, but to me that's pretty low income. I think to most people, that's pretty low. It's definitely below the poverty line, that's for sure. I don't feel like I'm living in poverty though. Look at this. I'm in luxury. So these numbers that you're seeing here are solely based on my ad revenue. So this is payments directly from Google to me for them playing ads on my video. Now, obviously a lot of other YouTubers diversify their income stream, so they're not relying solely on the ad revenue for two reasons. A, obviously to make more money, and B, because as you see, like it fluctuates so much, so you can't really have a realistic baseline of your income if you're relying solely on that, because it's just gonna fluctuate so much, so you're not gonna be able to predict how much money you're gonna be making, how much you could spend, and so on and so forth. So what you saw is just from ad revenue, and up until very recently, the only brand opportunities that I've had were working with companies who reach out and say like, we'll give you this product in exchange for you making a review video, which it was cool at first, and it's pretty cool that, you know, companies are willing to send me stuff, but realistically, it's not gonna pay the bills, and I'm a minimalist, so I don't want random companies sending me stuff that I may or may not use. I try to own only things that I thoroughly research and I know they're gonna actually add benefit and purpose to my life. So that got old really quickly and I lost interest in that. But very recently, however, I actually am starting to see the opportunity to create videos for a straight up payment rather than, you know, me receiving product, which is really cool. And just to be fully transparent about this, the rough estimate for me at 36,000 subscribers, I've been hearing the number of about $400 per video that has like a 45 to 90 second integration into the video, and about $1,200 for like a straight up video about a certain product. So that's awesome, and I hope that more of those opportunities start rolling my way. But honestly, once I get to the point where my channel is just receiving enough viewership, then ideally I would like to just not work with brands at all, unless it's, you know, a brand that I really feel like resonates with myself and my audience. I would hopefully one day get to the point where I'm just getting income from my ad revenue. And then also I do want to diversify my income in a few other ways. I'm playing with the idea of creating like photo prints. That would be really cool for me, since I'm a photographer. I would love to A, provide you guys with some art that I create, and then B, if that could supplement my income, that would be totally cool. and then I might do a Patreon or something. I'm not sure yet. I'm starting to hash out details about how I could boost my income and essentially make more cash. I've been talking for such a long time. I am definitely gonna have to cut out a lot of this just to make it not a hour-long video. But anyways, that's pretty much everything that I can think of in terms of financial transparency. If there's anything that I didn't cover that you guys are still interested in, feel free to leave a comment below, shoot me a DM on Instagram or something. I'll definitely try to get back to as many of you as I can. Like I said, I'm trying to be transparent and honest with you guys. So if there's any kind of mystery I could clear up, please do reach out. Now, before we wrap things up, I do want to reiterate that I hope that me being financially transparent with you guys can help you to trust or like connect with me in some deeper sense. I want you guys to know that like I'm not trying to like hide anything from anyone. I'm trying to be upfront and open with you guys because this whole experience, me starting to make money from YouTube and hopefully turn this into my career, is like a totally wild and new experience for me. So I would like to help clear up the air for some of you guys who might be in my position, or maybe you're hoping that you could start your own path down the YouTube career road. And I know that this kind of stuff is very helpful if you're very new and starting out. So I hope that you get some benefit out of it and it could help you with your own financial goals or dreams or whatever aspirations you may have. I also quickly want to point out that you don't really need to be making that much money to be happy, to do what you want to do, to have freedom, to do the kinds of things that you want to do with your life. It's all about prioritizing how you're spending your money and figuring out where you're going to make sacrifices in order to enable the lifestyle you want. For me, the sacrifice obviously is, living with my girlfriend's parents, which in itself is not a sacrifice. They're great people and I'm very fortunate. There's much worse situations, but the sacrifice is just like me giving up that egotistical kind of drive to be independent and be my own person and live on my own and all of that yada yada bullshit. To me, the opportunity to live out my dreams is worth sacrificing my ego. And for you, it might be something different. It's your life more than me. You know your life more than anyone else. My point is, if you really want something, if you really want to live a certain way, you can make it happen as long as you're willing to put in the work and also make some sacrifices here and there. And with that, I'm actually going to end the video. I have no idea how long this video is at this point. I've been talking to the camera for like an hour or so, and I really hope that this whole scene was in focus because I haven't checked the focus once. So if it's not in focus, then that's gonna be a really, really big bummer. But anyways, you guys go out there and go on some adventures of your own, live life, beat the status quo. Some of you guys were bummed that I left that part out in my last video. Enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you in the next video.